Are you confused over what to eat? From keto to paleo, vegetarianism, veganism, low fat, no fat. There are so many different approaches out there, and foods that are great for you and then they're off limits the next day. How about eggs? How about coconut oil? What about grains? What about legumes, beans, peas, lentils? Are you allowed to have these in your diet? It gets so confusing, and there's different studies that come out all the time that go against what came out the day before. So it can cause paralysis. You hear too much information and then you just shut down and you don't know what to do. So today I really want to talk about just the best way to look at food, the healthiest way, and to also just help you feel better, look better, function better on a daily basis. What do you eat at the most basic level? I'm Taylor Wessel, a nutritionist, and I work with clients one-on-one to really help them dive deep into what works for them, because we are truly bio-individual and unique, and everybody needs something different to thrive. Whether you're a breakfast eater or you're not a breakfast eater, or you need more protein, you need less protein, what blood type are you? All of these come into play. So I am Taylor Wessel of Tailored Health, and I share just a simple, easy tip every single week on Wednesdays via YouTube, just to help you feel a little bit better. And this is more general information. Again, if you are wanting to get more specific, we would have to work one-on-one. But in general, the tips and tools that I'll share with you today are what almost every single person can thrive from, including in their diet. And it's really about getting back to the basics. Everything's gotten so confusing, and there's different supplements and different goos and gels and things you can throw into your coffee. And it's like you don't have to spend all that crazy amount of money and hop on the latest fad to be healthy. In fact, we have to get back to what we were doing back in the day when our Paleolithic ancestors were foraging and getting nuts and berries and seeds and eating from the land, eating animals. Humans were omnivores. We're meant to eat some meat and also to eat plants. That's what our digestive system was built for. Now, the different blood types have kind of evolved, where some do better with animal protein, some do better on a vegetarian diet. But in general, we can all do so much better if we eat more vegetables. So 98% of Americans are not eating the bare minimum requirement for vegetables on a daily basis. And it is a very small number. So that's crazy. We all could use some spinach in our smoothies in the morning, or our omelet, or possibly you commit to a salad a day, or you throw herbs on top of your pasta at night, or your soups, or your chicken, your fish, whatever it might be. Perhaps instead of a white potato, you switch to sweet potato, just trying always to get in as many colors when it comes to vegetables as possible, rotating those vegetables. We need to not only eat more vegetables, but rotate our diet, because each different fruit and vegetable and food really brings a different nutrition profile to the table, whether it's B vitamins, vitamin C, minerals, antioxidants. Our body needs all of them. And what happens when we're eating too much of one food is that's when food sensitivities and allergies arise. Yeah, crazy, right? So there's so many tree nut allergies nowadays, and people are even reacting to things like kale. What the heck? Well, it's because kale salads, kale in smoothies, it was the big hype, and then we just overdid it. We're not supposed to overdo it on any single food. So first things first, if you're looking for a healthy diet, you have to eat more vegetables, and focusing more on the low starch vegetables rather than the starchy vegetables. So those are foods such as dark leafy greens, so kale, spinach, arugula, all of your herbs fit into there. Zucchini, squash, tomatoes, cucumbers, asparagus, these are all low starch vegetables. And then instead of doing so much grain, although if you are going to have grains in your diet, doing more whole grains such as brown rice and quinoa, which actually is a seed, not a grain, although it gets placed in that category. Or oats even, instead of doing too many grains, especially if you're somebody who's trying to lose weight, you do more of the starchy vegetables for your carbs. And so those are sweet potatoes or squash, carrots, beets, and a rutabaga. Any of these kind of expand out, although I don't think everybody's eating rutabaga on a daily basis. Okay, so you're eating more vegetables, you're replacing grains with starchy vegetables more often than not. If you do have a weight loss goal, I would say keeping your whole grain intake to about half a cup or less per day, or having one piece of toast, although the more you can move away from refined flour products, the better off. Fruit. So fruit is a natural, wholesome food that's a great source of natural sugars, but we have to be mindful of our consumption. So for the most part, doing 1 to maybe 2 servings a day and doing more berries, apples, pears, rather than a lot of the tropical fruits like bananas and pineapple and mango, papaya. These really add up as far as sugars go pretty quickly. And the more sugar that we have in our diet, the more inflamed we are, and the more that we will hold on to water and weight. So we want to cut back on sugars wherever possible. So you have vegetables, you have fruit, you have starchy vegetables to replace those grains, and now insert the proteins. So the protein aspect, always making sure that you're having good quality proteins. And the more that you can source plant-based proteins, the better. They're great sources of fiber. So when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about legumes, beans, peas, lentils. Those are great, and if you get those sprouted, they're even better for digestion. So if you're somebody who eats beans and it's like a gut bomb, it either comes back up or out, sprouting them or buying them sprouted is certainly super helpful. And then other plant-based proteins are nuts and seeds. So hemp seeds are a great source of plant-based protein. Chia seeds, any of your nuts really do contribute some. So you have vegetables, fruits, starchy vegetables, limiting the whole grains. You're having plant protein and then animal protein too. So some people need animal protein more so than others. And it's just about finding that balance for you. But if you are eating animal protein, always making sure that it's the best quality. So wild caught fish, and I recommend salmon, cod, or halibut. You're doing grass-fed and even better regeneratively sourced meat products, organic at the bare minimum, but that's not even really saying a whole lot as far as the quality goes when it comes to meat, whether it's red meat, poultry, or any of your other meat products. Really trying to pull away from those processed meats like bacon and sausage and hot dogs, and even those processed products that are vegetarian and seem healthier like tofu dogs and tofu and tempeh. Really trying to move away from that and just in the most natural source. Okay, so you have the protein, you have vegetables, you have some of your starches and your carbohydrate rich, your grains, or things like sweet potatoes and squash. You have animal protein, you have plant protein, and healthy fats to really round it out. So avocados, nuts, seeds, nut butter, coconut products. I love coconut products, but you do have to be careful when it comes to saturated fat. You don't want to do too much within your day, but I also feel that people are so fat phobic, and fat doesn't make you fat. It's carbs and sugar that make you fat. So if you want to cut back on anything, and weight loss is a goal of yours, and cutting back on inflammation, you have to look at the sugar and simple carbs that are coming into your diet. So as a recap, the healthiest foods to incorporate in your day, and this might seem so basic, but it's true. We've gotten so far removed from what healthy even is, so we have to get back to these basic principles. Vegetables, starchy vegetables, fruits, Whole grains in limited amounts, legumes, so beans, peas, lentils, good quality animal products, and that does include also pasture-raised eggs. So those are a great source, and they're actually one of the best complete proteins out there. And they contain almost every single nutrient. They are so wholesome. The only one nutrient that they don't contain is vitamin C. But you have to eat the yolk in order to get everything. 75% of the nutrients in eggs are within that yolk. Anyway, side note. So the proteins, and then rounding it out with those healthy fats. So this is eating foods around the perimeter of the grocery store, eating them in their real food form. And the more that you duck into the middle aisles and get the snacky foods like crackers and chips and cookies and pancake flour mixes, that's where things start to go awry. Hunger and cravings start to increase, your blood sugar goes up, insulin, you start gaining weight and inflammation. So the more natural, the better. And again, if you are somebody who has tried this or really can't get anywhere, feel free to reach out. That's where one-on-one coaching really does help you figure out the best approach for you. If you like this video, give it a like or comment below. What is an approach that you've tried or that's worked for you, or maybe something that hasn't worked for you, and what would you like to hear more of? Do you have any questions? Anything that I can possibly make the next video on? I want to give you guys what you want and make sure that you're getting the most out of these simple tips from Tailored Health every single week. And if you like this video, stay tuned for next week. On Wednesday, I'll be releasing an all-new video for you to help you just get that little bit healthier with a simple tip. Have a great day.